Everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line. This is episode 66 of our Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon crawl by Richard Barton, using a heavily house-ruled version of Old School Essentials by Necrotic Gnome. We are, of course, the most criminally underwashed actual play series on the internet. I'm your host for the evening. My name is John, and we have a full house tonight. Going around the horn, we have...
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm kind of sort of playing Darius the Assassin. We'll see how that goes.
Hi, I'm David, and I will be playing Elizabeth. My longtime character hasn't died once.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt. I'm playing Avaricios, the left hand of Lysion, and wondering where all his friends have gone.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted, and I'm playing Mort, hides in shadows and watches his friends die, J. Gobliano.
Okay, so it is the 6th of July, so it's about 5 p.m. Last session ended in a bit of a disaster for the party. They attempted to infiltrate the Well of Light, what they know as Plunger Town, for reasons.
Strategy was the reason, John. Strategy.
But regardless of what those were, their plan to hopefully ambush Gerrilad did not come to pass, unfortunately. So they encountered a level where the baboons had just recently returned under Gerrilad's control once again. So it's basically the same level that they left before. My mind's a little bit out of whack here. So okay, so here's the deal. Things went south real quick. So Mort right now, we're picking up right where Mort's polymorph self potion has worn off, and he's returned from spider form to normal Mort form, and he had just finished collecting all of Misophase's gear and putting it onto himself. So Misophase was the primary victim of what occurred last time, and has died, unfortunately, at the hands of dirty baboons. So Misophase was invisible at the time. He became visible. He was invisible because of wearing the ring. So Njal, who is back in the other end of the Pleasure Town, is now able to see. Once again, Mort sees Misophase's body on the ground next to his magic pebble that had just returned and had picked up all of his gear. Darius, who was the other invisible PC in that hallway, missed his assassination attempt and clattered to the ground, and then was promptly sent unconscious by a vicious attack by the baboon. And he has been dragged bodily northwards to the Hall of Judgment and shackled to the punishment pole standing in front of the Ruby Throne. And he is in very, very bad shape. He has been roughly bandaged up, so he is at 1 hit point. And Cisco is watching over him. Avaricios is with the retainers, Njal and Elizabeth, and he is back in the room that leads towards the pyramid that leads back to the debouchement level. So he has a clear path to just get the hell out of here, should he decide to do so. Because Darius is sort of out of commission, Misophase is dead, Mike and David will be playing both of the retainers, Njal for Mike and Elizabeth for David. So those three people are all in that relatively safe area that leads back towards the pyramid. Let's see. Okay. In addition, Avaricios had cast Sticks to Snakes and put some just married cans and stuff like that on the snakes, causing a ruckus to the north. That was very effective in drawing most of the regular baboons away from the southern area where things were going down. However, in the wait for Mort to return to his normal self with the polymorph self potion, that Sticks to Snake spell has worn off, so those snakes are no longer in existence. He had also pulled a mouse out of the sack, cast Speak with Animals on it, and then Silence as well, and ordered that mouse to go silently towards the doors where they saw that were spiked shut from the outside, not by the PCs, but by some other entity. And they had surmised that something dangerous is probably behind those doors. By this time, it is likely that the mouse has done its work. We'll see what happens there. And you have Cisco in the Hall of Judgment, is with Darius. Irsko, the cook, is outside Gerrilad's chamber on guard. So he's right outside the door where Mort is with Misophase's body. Trefko, no one knows where he is. Okay, and Gerrilad is in his chamber after having dragged all of Darius's gear into the room with him and having shut the door. Okay, so that's where we are. A lot of moving parts going on here. First thing that we need to do is Mike as Darius. Mike's going to be kind of switching back and forth as circumstances dictate here, but you get to see the next stage of our death and dying rules. So as we explained last time, we use the yay. We use the very first step is the AD&D first edition one, which is basically if you drop when you get down to the negatives, you lose 1 hit point per round, unless bandaged or healed. And if you reach -10, you are dead. Darius was was bandaged outside the combat, which immediately raised him to 1 hit point. However, at that point, you must make a choice, and that choice is between 2 states. Between debilitation or injury. Okay. You're kind of in a unique situation here because you're not being picked up and healed by your party members, which gives you a much more of like a solid choice here. So I kind of know which one you're probably going to be picking, but we'll see here. So debilitation means that you can't move unless you're assisted. Okay. There's more to that as it goes, but it basically means like, the assistant can only move at certain levels of speed and can only carry certain things and blah, blah, blah. If you rest for 1 hour per your hit point loss below 0, you can remove the debilitation. Okay. You have no one to assist you right now. You are shackled to a pole. The other choice that you have is injury, in which case you have to roll on a random chart for general location on the body, head, arms, legs, or chest, and you will lose ability score points based upon which location we roll. However, those can be healed with a lot of bed rest and particular attention. However, there is also a permanent detriment that occurs depending on where the injury took place that can never be gotten rid of.
What kind of
Yes.
Shut up, David. What kind of permanent detriment are we talking about here, John?
Well, the head one we're still kind of working out. So we're not really sure about that one right now. I'm going to probably say that it's probably be like the immediate loss of a language. But I'm not married to that. Yeah, the other ones are...
only have one.
I almost hope that would be it. That would be amazing. I'd be like, man, yo no soy de dinero, buddy.
well,
all right. So, John, here's my other question. So, if by some miracle I am like loosed, right? Not by the monkeys, say like by somebody else. If I take the injury, then the assumption is that I can still get up and run, right?
yes.
Okay. Well,
But
with Darius's stats, I don't relish the idea of taking like an ability score penalty.
it also depends.
Go ahead.
It depends on where you're. If we roll on the legs, your ability to run is heavily curtailed, as in cannot happen.
Well, I mean, I think that's a gamble I'm going to take, man. I think I'm going to go with the injury.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry.
I'm down.
Debilitation is probably the better bet, but
Roll me a
Mike,
d4.
yeah, let's just let him roll. We'll see.
okay.
Yeah,
sorry,
you know what?
John,
If it's up to the dice, it's got to be okay.
yeah,
I love that.
they've never failed me.
Dice
failed
worked
Mike
really
before.
well for you last week.
Did you say a 4-sided?
Yes.
Good old dice.
I got a
Love it.
2.
Thank you, Mike.
2 is what I got.
Okay.
Avaricios.
So this is in the arms. So you were basically torn apart. You were heavily wounded by, I believe it was Cisco, right? Cisco or Irsko, I
No,
can't remember.
Cisco killed Mesophase. Irsko
Irsko got you.
and frankly, Irsko didn't even drop me. Like his backup baboon singers like came in and dropped me.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah, what a weakling.
Yeah. So one of your arms is rendered basically useless. So you are going to be -2 strength for the time being, and similar to Avaricios, so you cannot use that arm. So right now, tell me, what is your dominant hand?
Let's go with right-handed.
Okay. So roll any die and declare which is right and which is left-handed.
Okay, I'm gonna do a 6-sided. Low is left, high is right.
Okay.
It's my left arm that is
Okay, so it's
damaged.
your offhand. So so you can still wield stuff in your dominant hand as long as it's one-handed. But we'll just say like it tore tendons in your left arm. Like it's just a mangled wreck. Like it's just completely useless. All right. So here's the rule for
Lucky
whenever you
bastard.
suffer an injury like this instead of debilitation. Under the continuous care of a skilled and likely expensive healer for 1 week of complete convalescence, the recovering PC may remove their ability score penalty, but retains their impairment. So the impairment, the actual, non-number based detriment stays forever.
And what was that? I'm sorry. So it was my left arm just unusable forever and
Unusable forever.
Yes.
ever? Okay.
Just like Avaricio's.
Got it.
Walk side by side with me, and we've got it covered.
We have.
So what is your?
Yeah,
what is
we
your-
have-
Silver lining, pal.
So
is your
my remaining strength is a 6.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yes. So you're looking pretty rough. You've got black eyes. You've got like a huge gaping wound in your shoulder, and you're basically shackled. With manacles across your arms, and then like you're shackled with a big chain to that punishment post, which is deliberately been set above your head, so that you kind of, and you can't. You're so weak because you just got brought back from unconsciousness that you're on your knees and being dragged in against that pole. So you're just like lolling against it, right? So it's really bad news. And Cisco's just like grinning down from you on high, and he's just waiting for his master to show up. Every once in a while, he gives you like a little cuff, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay. So
Every time he does, I tell him to go himself.
really,
Yeah.
okay. So if that is the case, he will knock you into unconsciousness.
You know what, John? I'm happier there. It's fine.
Okay.
Happy place. It's
Cis-
Darius's happy place.
Cisco doesn't take lip, so he basically cracks you across the face, and you fall into unconsciousness.
It's
All right.
better than feeling the pain of that torn ligaments in his shoulder stretched up like that. Believe me.
All right, so I believe the next most pressing thing is Mort. Mort, yeah, you are in
Trouble?
you are in Irsko's lair, not the kitchen,
Yes.
but right before and remember that you did as a spider sneak into the kitchen and see all the goblins, and they were burning their buddy who got smacked around by Irsko, and you saw some prisoners waiting to be cooked, and yada yada yada. You noticed that there was a fireplace that likely led outside. And all sorts of interesting stuff. However, you are in Irsko's lair, and you can hear the one and only Irsko, he of the chef toque wearing, is directly outside, huffing and puffing and growling and looking around. And let's also not forget, too, there is that warded door towards the west that seems to have stymied everybody, including Mort as a spider.
Yeah, not going there. So after confirming that Misophase is dead and taking his significant loot, I think we did this last time. Actually, I'm definitely going to go invisible, and then
How are you going invisible?
with the ring that Misophase was using,
Okay.
which will startle Neal, no doubt, or Elizabeth. I don't remember who was wearing it.
Yeah.
I intend to. I need to finding the set pendant on Misophase's body gives me an idea, which is I'm going to write a little note and wrap it around the set pendant and hide it on Misophase's person, on the hopes that when they eventually come and find the body and they strip it, probably for dinner, they will find this note. The note will read, "Instructions to Misophase. Your loyalty to Set is unquestioned, and we are confident you will see this job to its fruition. Go to the halls controlled by Gerrilad and his filthy apes and pose as one of the AV Club members. Bring along others to help complete the masquerade. Cause trouble and turn Gerrilad further against those who could be most helpful to his cause, killing if you can, or otherwise create division. He cannot be allowed to grow in power to challenge our supremacy. The AV Club will make useful patsies in this. They are unaware of our plans, and Gerrilad will easily believe them capable of these crimes. Do not get caught. Die if you must. All loyalty to Set. You will be known to our agents by this pendant." And then I'll hide that in his underwear, shoe, someplace that's a good spot where like you might hide secret instructions.
Okay, I wasn't able to parse any of that. Can you copy it and paste it in the Discard?
It is. It's under Matt's proposed plan. Dated
so
today.
Good. That's
It's
so
brilliant.
good. I did not. For the audience, I didn't know that was going to happen, and wow, I'm excited.
Ted hasn't waited once all week on Discord, so we didn't know what you were thinking.
Well, I decided a little bit on purpose to do that because Mort is so isolated. I wanted Mort's plan to rise in isolation, and this is what I came up with.
You're like a method actor. I love that.
I love it.
It's true.
I also want to ask a question, but I don't want to interrupt the process here.
No,
if you
go ahead.
To do, I'll wait till later.
No,
John,
that's fine.
When you're done, let me know.
Who,
All
me?
right, fine.
Yeah, John. But no rush. No, I want to organically jump in when we have a minute.
Yeah, give me a second where I need to parse this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the deal with that, Ted, is that is an extremely detailed letter.
Sorry.
And you just popped up into existence back into a form that actually can write letters.
Yes.
So it will take time.
Yes, of course.
To do
so
this.
the idea is he turns invisible, he pulls out his paper and pen, and he sits there and writes the note, stuffs it onto Misophase's body, and then we're leaving the body in Erskine's bed, ironically.
Okay. So it will take a turn to write that down.
Yep.
When that turn is occurring, you can hear, as you are furiously writing down this message, that you can hear the door to Gerrilad's chamber open up.
Oh, I'm listening closely.
And Gerrilad steps out into the hallway. And you can hear him talking to Irsko.
Yes.
And he says that it's highly unlikely that the AV Club only sent 2 of their number. There are likely many more of them probably hiding somewhere on the level. They wouldn't be fool enough to come back here with just 2 of them. He orders Irsko to rally as many of the baboons as possible and search every corner of the level. You can hear him specifically tell Irsko to deploy a squad of baboons back into the Druid's retreat and see if they can find a few Setites who he believes might be down there to come help.
Ooh. Okay.
And he says, I'm off to the Hall of Judgment. And he starts moving down the western corridor.
Okay.
You will remain here. You rally the baboons, he says.
So we had worked out a danger signal with the ring, which I'm now going to trigger. The on-off pattern or whatever it was we decided it would be, so that Avaricious and Niall and Elizabeth will know that there's danger.
All right, Mike, you pick that up.
Yep. I whisper it to them, and I'd be like, "They're coming."
They come at night, mostly.
During that turn, right, there was a little bit of time. John, one thing I want to do before we get the get out of here, the warning sign, is the eastern wall of that north-south corridor that's between that room that we have labeled number 2 with a continual light in it. I want to check that wall for any kind of secret door. Like, look very carefully. I can't remember if there are any frescoes or anything decorative on that eastern north-south wall. It's over here. But given that turn, while we're kind of waiting, he want to check that eastern wall for any kind of secret door.
Gotcha. Okay. So you can spend the entire turn doing it. You find nothing.
Just to jump in, we've always been on a time pressure and haven't tried it. It is plausible that if we try this, I don't know how spatially, but hear me out. If we try the same thing that Onweir did on the other pyramid that located him internally to the pyramid, it is possible that doing it here, we didn't try it here. It is possible that by trying it here, it might lead to a library route, which would make a lot of sense in my mind, because it's like coveted information. I don't know how it would like spatially do that. So it's a bit of a question mark. But while you are searching the wall, just to say it, I'm going to run Lisbeth as autonomously as I can, but I'm also very cognizant that Lisbeth is yours.
Do it, man.
So
do it.
if you have a strong feeling as a no, let me know. But
she's the parties now.
No, I know. We're transitioning to a new methodology with these guys. So just because we're here, I'm throwing it out there. While you're doing that, could Elizabeth try this on the pyramid?
Sure.
John, within that time frame?
Try what on the pyramid?
Plunger.
Rather than pulling, remember on where, unless I'm misremembering, oh my God, I'm going to trap myself. It's like, I think it was a push and a second push, which engaged entering. I can look on the notes, actually.
It doesn't matter. You just tell me you do the same thing.
Do the same thing.
Yeah. Nothing happens.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
I thought we had tried it, David, but maybe not.
Now we officially have. Yeah.
Okay.
It was only 9 years ago when we recorded that episode.
So you guys are a little bit spread out there. We have Avaricios is on the eastern hallway. Elizabeth is now in the pyramid room, and y'all is, I will say, back in the larger chamber with the living mosaic on the ground. Don't forget that living mosaic basically depicts anyone who is standing on top of the pyramid back at the debauch level.
So we see Elizabeth. No.
So
Okay.
back at the other level.
Yeah, and you don't see.
Yeah, we don't.
No one is depicted in the living mosaic. Y'all, who is standing there? You just got the signal from Mort that there is danger, and almost like clockwork, right? When that registers to you through like a series of like, I guess, being blind and not blind, like very rapidly, you hear a crashing of wood towards the north, like an explosion of wood, like, and then you immediately hear like of like multiple growls and moaning, and they.
Your mouth.
And those growls are immediately met with the shrieks and hooting of baboons, and then it fades away. But there's definitely you can hear the sounds of vicious violence happening towards the north up that corridor.
Sweet.
You also hear a pattering of feet, really, really rapid. Whip right by that door. And remember, too, that door is basically off of its hinges because Trefco way back in the day actually blew it off.
Sorry.
So you can see like a quick like little shadow like move across the door, but with no chance of like sliding in here. Just like
I don't want to be that guy, but the mouse is silenced.
Yeah.
Which means that if the mouse is still there, is the mouse like there? Because then it would give those whatever's behind that door like a good bit of time to all pile into the hallway before anyone notices them, right?
Do you want to go and check to see if the mouse is still there?
No, I don't want to.
You have to take my.
All right then.
Fair
enough.
How dare you backseat the DM?
So
yeah. Also, y'all remember you're blind, so you're hearing this, but you're not seeing it. If Mort is invisible,
so
right?
you hear the explosion. You've done your searching in that room at the same time that Mort is down in the southeast writing that note, and a turn passes, and Mort, you now have that letter ready to go.
Okay, I'll stuff it onto Misophase's corpse, and try and arrange the body so that it doesn't look too much like I've been messing with it, but rather that it died there and then became visible somehow. And so, I mean, it's a long shot that they'll find it, but hopefully. Then, okay, I want to go to the kitchen. Now, remind me, when I was in there, I saw a dead goblin on the floor, 2 goblins cooking, a beast man in there as well. And was there anyone else?
Hold on.
There were a couple dudes waiting to go in the pot.
Yeah, like boxes of body parts or something, right? Something horrible.
Yeah, so 2 goblins. One has been thrown onto the fire.
Yes.
Right, and then so there's 2, and they look kind of despondent. They're stirring what appears to be a cauldron that is not on any sort of heat yet, is boiling rapidly, and you could see body parts sort of floating in it, Conan the Barbarian orgy style.
Yep.
But on the south wall there are 3 big bins. 2 of those bins are filled with vegetables. One is actually crammed with 2 hapless and bound people, and one of them is a rat-headed beast man, and one appears to be a large Whiskin male.
Okay, and is that padlocked or locked in some way, or
No.
just
No, but they are gagged and bound. The beast man, the rat-headed beast man is missing an arm.
Yeah,
And it's not, it has, it's pretty bad. And you saw an arm sort of floating in that cauldron. Also, too, by the way, when you're trying to imagine what the beast men are like, they were literally like beast men. So don't picture like a rat-faced one as like a were-rat. It's not like that. They were like literally like human. Like from the neck down, they're just completely human. But they just have to have like a rat's head. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. No claws or anything like that, or hair. It's just only on the head.
So my idea then is to open the door into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And whisper in there in Goblin,
Mm-hmm.
Psst, hey, buddy.
What? Who's there?
It's me, Mortus J, Gobliano.
Their eyes go wide. Like, how did you get in here? You don't want to be here.
No, but you don't either, do you?
No.
I think I can get us out. Tell me.
You'll get us all killed. Just leave us alone.
You don't want to escape?
If you make us go out of the kitchen, we'll be found, and then we'll be the ones in the pot.
Have you ever thought about going up the chimney? I have spikes and a hammer.
They kind of look up in that direction. They're like, no.
You know
It's a
where it
long
goes?
climb.
It's probably a long climb. That's true. You want to try it, or you want to come with me?
You have the tools?
I have spikes and hammer.
They
want it?
they kind of look at each other, and then they make a quick decision. They're like, yeah, and they immediately start to quench that. They immediately start to quench the fire.
Okay. Yes, Mike.
I just want to point out, I was re-listening to episode 3 today, and there is a fireplace right next to the well of light that we looked down and we were like, oh, there's definitely something down there. We hear
Chimney? Oh.
we hear contented simians. And that's all the way, that's like right next to like the well of light, but it is like 200 feet we had estimated below the surface. So they might need more than 12 spikes.
Well, I'm sure it's a climbable. I mean, most chimneys are climbable. I think the spikes and hammer will just give them a little extra.
You could caterpillar it. Caterpillar. It's risky, but it is a strategy that climbers use.
Do that thing where you get 2 goblins and put them back to back, and then they just walk right up.
Right. Yeah, I've done that. Anyway, I want them to escape. I also want to help the guys in the cage. So I'm gonna basically I'll come back in. I'll come into the kitchen. I'll give the goblins the stuff. I'll tell them they can come with me or they can go up the chimney. But I'm letting these 2 guys out of the cage. No bad blood between you guys, right? I don't want any trouble.
No, they look stunned. Of course, they can't really quite find the words whenever you release them, and their joints are basically cramped all the hell. They're having a very tough time moving. The beast man is not looking good at all. You think that he might die very soon just from blood loss. His arm has not been treated at all.
Oh, is there something I can do, like wrap it up,
Cauterize it?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
So there are a number of so you know there's another normal cauldron that's hanging from a hook near the fireplace, and it's one of those swinging arm things, so the cauldron can just like go right over the fireplace if it needs to.
Yeah.
There are also a bunch of battered pots and skillets that are hanging on pegs on the eastern wall as well. That seems to be, and there's some cooking implements and stuff of that nature. But yeah, his face is sallow. His whiskers are drooping, the whole 9 yards.
All right. I'll tell the goblins, I'll give them a wishes of good luck in Goblin and tell them to remember that Mortus J. Gobliano, remember that name when you get out and go back. Tell the king.
We will remember.
Yes.
I can't wait to get to the surface where surely nothing will happen to us.
Oh, by the way,
Surface is completely safe right now.
You can run really fast to a tower nearby that I might have known a mage to die in.
Yeah, I'll do whatever sort of crude legionary first aid I can apply to the beast man, and I'll tell him that, trust me, beast man and goblin need not be enemies, and I will get you out of here. Come with me. You too, Whiskin.
Okay, so I would say, like, if you want to make him mobile, like heal him enough to be mobile, it'll take another turn.
Yeah, well, we got to get the goblins out of here and put the fire out anyway and stuff. So I wrap some cloths around the stump and give him a drink of water and bind that bad nasty wound.
Okay.
I don't know. Put oregano on it or something. I don't know.
So the Beastman tells you, he thanks you as you kind of make him better, and he introduces himself as Marco is his name. Okay.
It's a good name.
The Whiskin has sort of like a scraggly, half grown in, like 5 o'clock shadow, but has blonde braids that are sort of slowly coming undone. Also looking really, really rough, but you can tell that he's got like a lot of lean corded muscle on him as well. And he tells you that his name is Kettle, Ketil. You can just say
Ketil. I spelled that wrong.
Ketil or Ketil.
Sure.
And he says he also thanks you. He's in a lot better shape because he hasn't been manhandled yet. And he tells you that his trade is a ranger.
Ooh, nice.
He patrols the forest around here.
All right.
Forests and roads, making sure that people are safe. But
somebody keeps raising their hand. Whose hand do I keep seeing going up? Somebody was raising their hand? Was that David?
I think I had an itch.
I raised it earlier. I raised it earlier, but I was going to say you could potentially throw him in a cauldron and lift him up, but it's fine.
Oh, like hoist it. We don't have enough rope for that. I've just got spikes and hammer. Well, not anymore. I gave it to the goblins. All right. So the idea here, my idea then is we go back into Erskine's room and then listen at the door, make sure there's no one in the hallway, proceed to the end of that hallway towards the west and listen there. And then I will sketch out instructions for them of where to like, I'll show them the map and show them the way to the plunger room. Right. Okay. So that if we get separated, which is likely, they will, they can get there. And just to tell the people you find there that Mort sent you.
Okay. And they ask you if you have any weapons.
There's a bunch in the room. There's a bunch of cooking implements.
Yeah, there's cooking implements. Absolutely. And then actually, hold on. What's his bucket? The old Misophase had a dagger, which I will hand to the Whiskin.
David or Ted.
Yeah.
If you make it look like Misophase has been completely stripped,
you're right.
And the note won't look as believable. So you should leave as much shit on.
I'll leave as much shit on him as I can. It's fine. They'll just have to arm themselves with the weapons they find in the kitchen. I do not have an extra weapon. Nope, I don't. Okay. So, I want to go to that western door in the hallway outside of Gerrilad's room. I'm going to go invisible again, but I'll explain to them that I'm going to do it, and they'll hear me whispering, but I'll show them the map and tell them where to run.
Okay, they can't believe their good fortune, and they're smiling gleefully as you start to lead them out. And they've got the plan. They understand.
Okay. I'm going to give them a head start of, long enough so like if I'm counting in my head, their steps kind of thing, and they're almost there. Mm-hmm. I want to kick open Gerrilad's door, grab the pile of Darius' stuff, and run like hell while I'm invisible. That's what I want to do. If I don't see it, what?
You're not going to go look for the cloak?
Yeah, Darius' stuff.
Oh, okay.
Not Darius. Darius is dead, man. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not getting him on this round. But I want that cloak and Clavum if I can grab it. And anything else, if it's sitting out, if it's obvious, if he's got it hidden or, boxed up or, buried somewhere, forget it. I'll get killed trying to find it. But if it's still sitting where he threw it, then I'm going to grab it. at least that cloak.
Okay.
I know that there's shriekers are likely to go off, and so I'm just gonna. That's why I want to give these guys a head start. I'm invisible. I'm waiting, counting, and then I kick the door down, grab the stuff, and run. That's the plan.
How long are you waiting for?
So I'm counting steps, and I'm figuring that they can move. Probably they're wounded and tired. They probably can move maybe only at 60. So I want to give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I'm also telling them to just sprint and not worry about like mapping or
okay. So
anything
just
like
give me a number of turns that you're waiting.
Well, whole turns?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, well, okay. So one turn, we move at 90. We move 90 feet in a turn, but that includes mapping and checking for traps and being careful, right?
Yeah.
How far? If 60. How far can you run if you're just running and you don't care?
They can get there in one turn. If
then I'll wait that long.
Okay. Okay. So you wait a turn. You can hear them booking it as fast as you can. They somewhere in that northwestern corridor that leads to the main east-west one. Yep. They you can hear them shout in alarm, and you can hear the hooting of baboons.
Damn.
Okay.
Well,
run, bitches, run.
You start to hear some screams, some very unmanly screams as well. And do you still continue to open Gerrilad's door?
Yeah, it might draw the heat off of the Beastman and the Whiskin. So
okay,
if I don't hear any screams right outside the door, where I'm listening, there on the western door, I will go ahead and do it.
Okay, you open the door. The shrieker immediately goes off.
Yep, I run in.
Okay, you run in. There's a 20-foot. What's that?
The cloak is sitting there, right, just lying on the floor.
No, you see no indication of the treasure anywhere, but you still see the same stuff that's in the room. Do you want to go attempt to investigate?
I'll step in a few feet and just look around in the room.
Okay. When you step into the room a little bit more, so there's a 20-foot long corridor that kind of moves down before it kind of opens up. You can see on that southern half of that chamber beyond is a large pit, a pit of mulch. Stuff was growing. That you can see the shrieker. So the top of its cap is sort of peeking up above, and it's like its big pores. Things are like letting out like visible things of spores that are causing sound. And in addition, you can see 2 additional caps of a different kind of mushroom slowly raise their way out of the pit. Some sort of slits that you might take to be eyes open up on the stalks, and they lock onto you as they move forward.
Even though I'm invisible?
Oh yeah, you're invisible. I'm sorry, forgot. So you see you see the 2 mushrooms things also in that pit.
Yeah, I figured I would. I don't see any evidence of the cloak or like a box or a wall hook or anywhere.
Not on immediate look.
I think you got to round the corner, Ted. You got to go around the corner.
I'll look around the corner real quick.
So you see his hammock there.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a pit in the southern part of the room.
Yeah, which probably has the stuff in it. Shit. Well, guys, you're asking a lot, man.
Okay. Meanwhile, while you're in that room, the rest of you guys hear the shrieker go off. You hear the screaming of baboons coming from all directions. You hear the pattering of feet. You also hear some moaning and definitely quite different sort of growling coming from somewhere, echoing in the northern parts of the chambers. And you also hear the large gruntings of forearm baboons as well. One, in particular, appeared to be heading your way and then immediately turns back and goes in a different direction. And you can also hear, well, I don't know how much you would actually be able to hear because your guys aren't really in the middle of it right there. So, yeah, shit's going down.
All right. So John, if I peek my head around that corner and I don't see the cloak, just around the corner, I'm done. I'm out.
Okay.
I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of this room, and I'm getting out of this little cluster of rooms.
Skulk in the pit, Ted. You're invisible.
I'm not skulking in the pit, dude. This is ride the lightning, man. Look what happened. I'm not
Hide under the bed. Just do it. Kill him. Hide under the bed. You're fine.
Not doing it. I'm
Where are
going
you
to
going,
run into Erskine's room and out, and then I'm going to try and get out through that little 5-foot corridor to the west.
Okay. One moment. Let me check something.
If I open that little tiny door and that room's full of baboons, I'm heading to the kitchen to go up the chimney.
Right. You are going.
For what it's worth, don't forget, now that you've looted Miso's body, you do have the only of 2 keys to the Library of Thoth. Well, the first Library of Thoth.
Where's the other key?
Gerrilad has it.
Oh, of course. Right.
Okay. So, let's see. Okay. Yeah, you can make it into there safely. And you're going to attempt to move west through the small passageway. Okay. All right. What do the rest of you guys do?
Matt, I think we got to start moving towards the exit, man.
We do. I mean, it's just so like, okay, here's the thing that Av can do before they go down. He can set his alarm to silent so that only he will hear it when anybody comes through that door that's not an AV club member, right? So he can set it in, like right inside that doorway to number 2, and then we're gonna just like book it back around and wait near the pyramid so that we're ready to get out when it's time to get out.
All right. So
I would also.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would also say that I think Lisbeth casting Obscuring Mist on the pyramid is probably a smart idea to cover our flight if we do get into a melee on the pyramid.
She already cast it. Yeah.
Oh, when?
Yeah.
And end of last session.
Yeah, to get them safely from the
I see. My bad.
room 4 to this room. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you guys are just playing on escape. Ted, are you? Does Mort have any other things to do except for get out of here?
No. Well, let me look at my notes that I made to myself, but I think the answer is no. Get out. I tried to get the cloak.
Okay. So you are not attempting to bring Misophase back from the dead, and you are not going to attempt to save Darius. That is correct. You're leaving them to their fates. I'm asking everybody.
I am willing to adapt on the Darius thing, but I want to get out of this section of rooms. So I was planning. I don't know where Darius is, of course. So I was planning to head towards the.
You heard him say that he's going to the Hall of Judgment.
I did hear that.
Yeah. So you could go, if you make it through that little hallway, you could go north. I mean, you're invisible, right? You can go to the center of that room. You could probably see up there.
Can I just say something on the side of attempting to rescue Darius right now is dangerous. right. It's very dangerous, right? With probably a low chance of success, et cetera, et cetera. If you're going to take some sort of risk, the better payoff for that risk isn't getting Darius, it's getting the gear. So, like, if you're gonna ride the lightning, right, David? The better part of Valor is to go look in the pit and see if the stuff is there. Because then if it's not there, okay, game on. But you are invisible. Those mushroom guys can't see you. As soon as you get that cloak, dude, you have another way of being invisible.
Yeah.
And then you all can actually fight things.
Mike.
Yeah.
All true. I thought of this. And what I mostly thought of was I linger 10 seconds too long and that hallway fills with monkeys.
Sure.
There's no getting out. Darius, Gerrilad will fucking know if I'm in there. I'm positive of it. He will work it out. I am not in a position to be stuck in that room alone with Gerrilad. I'm
not arguing that it's dangerous. My argument is that the danger of trying to rescue Darius is like this, and the danger of trying to get Darius here is like this.
I'm going to steer his throat as I run past.
Well, the real risk is all the information you're about to give over.
Yeah.
But so yes, fair point, Mike. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to go for it, definitely kill him. I'm sorry.
Let me remind you also, He now knows that we have a strategy of being invisible. He saw us appear from invisibility. So if his room alarm's going off, you don't think he's going to send monkeys to cover every square inch of that place?
Yeah, I got to get out of here. I gave it a few seconds. I didn't find it. I have to leave. That's the plan.
Okay.
But here's a question I have for you, Mort, or for you, Ted, to ask Mort and then report back to me.
I will report back.
What kind of ranged weapon does he have? Can he just take one shot down that hallway? No,
he doesn't have one.
You'll be not only that, but your invisibility will be gone.
Yeah,
but we can turn it right back on.
Yeah, I've thought of that as well. My thinking is if Cisco hopefully is running around looking for me, then if I am where Cisco was, he will not find me, and then I can kill Darius and then hide some more. But this is a plan that has to be adapted on the fly. But it does not include hiding in a pit full of violent mushrooms, waiting for Gerrilad to find me. There's no way.
I will add one.
That they're violent. You have no idea.
I'm pretty sure
Could be really nice.
the ones are pretty violent.
Have you tried eating one and seeing? I'll add one. Sorry for all the editorial commentary, Ted. I'll add one more comment.
Okay.
Do as you will.
Yes.
However, if you kill Darius, you go invisible. You go invisible again.
Yeah.
However, don't immediately run to the secret door, because the what we definitely don't want is the secret door to be revealed to these guys.
No, I thought of that too, because
that will be really dangerous to us. Yeah.
That's my nominal plan, but if there's somebody too close behind, then no, it doesn't work. No, I'm aware of that.
They're all in that room, right down the hallway from the. He sent them up there.
They're all there.
Good point. He sent them up that tunnel into the Druid's retreat. That's right.
Okay. It is break time, so we'll let them muddle through it a little bit more, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. Okay, so Mort, you are going to attempt. Actually, let's switch over to Miro here for the folks at home.
Yes,
they are going to. Mort is going to attempt to move through that very small, 5-foot wide passageway that leads back to the north-south corridor. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, right there. And you are able to do so. As you do so, and you, let me just check if that's actually like a corridor there. If there's a door, it is just a corridor. All right, so as you are approaching the end of that corridor at the western end, and you're about to sort of peek around in the main thing, before you do, you can actually hear. You hear all the noises of like the baboons kind of going crazy. You can still hear the shriekers kind of going off. And as you near the end of the corridor, the shrieker turns off. Okay, and that immediately brings into the fore with your hearing is you could hear Gerrilad is coming, like he's like 10 feet away from you, coming down from the north, and he's like really irritated. He's got the weird birch wood weapon in his hand.
Yeah,
and he says, he's mumbling to himself, I guess my questioning won't have to wait. We'll see what's going on now back at the chambers. And he.
Are we sure we don't want to just do this over and over and over and over and over again? Just to terrorize Gerrilad. I would roll a whole character just to do this.
He yells back. He goes, "Cisco, keep an eye on the prisoner. Trefco!" And he calls out, looking around. He's like, and he's basically standing right there in front of you, Mort, like right in the middle of that hallway.
Kill him.
And he's like, "Trefco, where are you, you old bastard? I know they're around here somewhere. There's something going on somewhere in the north. Trefco, see if you can find Irsko, get the rest of the baboons, make sure that my retreat is I can't think of the word right now, Trefco. But make sure my retreat is secure."
The baboon's like, "You're asking me, boss? I don't know the word.
What does that sound?
Just so you know,
where is my help? Where is all my help?" And he's like extremely frustrated.
And now's the time to kill him. And you hear us doing like the Exorcist music in the back. Oh,
Ted, just so you know, not that you need to, but just so you know, the dagger you took off of Isophase was Onweir's dagger.
The same dagger, huh?
The same blessed dagger. Oh no, you left it. Well, never mind. Never mind. Quite all right.
I did take a few things, but not the set pendant and not your more mundane.
All right. Gerrilad is about to move by you. Can you do anything, or are you going to let him pass?
Damn it. I do not believe that the aforementioned prime circumstances for sudden assassination are currently in effect. I am not silenced. He is in position, and I'm invisible, but he will hear me coming. I will fuck up.
Sure, but we've already spent all of our bad rolls, Ted. That's how D&D works.
No, that's not how.
And now is the greatest time to get a nat 20.
You hear the hooting of baboons coming from the northwestern corridor there, and coming into I guess Gerrilad probably be carrying like a lantern in the other hand or something like that. Coming into the lantern light, you can see like a bunch of baboons are they're looking like really happy, they're like a cat who brings like a dead mouse to their owner. They're dragging down the corridor 2 bodies, one of which is a beast man and one of which is a whiskin, and they're like, and Gerrilad's, where did these come from? It's like completely flabbergasted. He goes, what is going on? What is that noise to the north? He's like completely like out of sorts. He's like because there's like noise coming from everywhere, right? Just
This
you can't be smelling, you can't be seeing, and you can't be heard. Just throwing out there.
I'm aware, David. Thank you. Yeah. I'm on it. I'm on it. That's why I'm raising my hand. This is a prime opportunity for me to slip out and around whilst all this commotion is going on. They probably will not hear me moving as I go around Gerrilad and try and sneak off to the northwest corridor, unless it's full of baboons, in which case I'm going to go north.
I hope, Ted, that from hundreds of miles away, you feel my disappointment just washing across.
Okay,
Ted, I just want you to remember we got to come back to close that information loop. Don't do it.
I support you in this.
We all support you, Ted.
I'm behind you.
We're just giving you shit.
I'll tell you what.
These guys want to kill you. I want you to win.
Shit.
All those who survived the last encounter raise their hands. Now, all those who are still free to act, raise their hands. Yeah. Okay.
So, Mort,
I got some decisions to make here, guys.
Mort, the northwestern corridor is not choked with baboons. However, that is where those baboons came from. So it would be, I would say that despite the noise, despite the invisibility, because you are no longer a spider, it is rather crowded. So I would have to make you make a roll of some sort. I think it would probably benefit you. Like it would be better odds for you to get past if you want to go northwest.
I'll just go straight north and then head west. But if the north is also full of baboons,
it is not.
I'm going north. Okay,
so Gerrilad like waves his hand dismissively at the baboons as he's definitely like out of sorts because there's just too much chaos going around. There's noise coming from every direction right now, and he knows for sure that the AV Club has to do with some of it, but he can't get a handle on what levers are sort of being pulled to make this all happen, right? It's too much all at the same time, right? So he looks around, he whirls around looking for someone to blame, sees no one there to help him except these stupid baboons. He kind of kicks one and it jumps away, and then he moves down towards the south. Again, he kind of shrugging his shoulders and yelling for his four-armed baboons.
Is he carrying my stuff?
No, he's not carrying your stuff. As you move north into the Well of Light itself, Ted, there is no one in that chamber. You can definitely hear echoing around everywhere the sounds of baboons and baboons dying horribly as well. Somewhere. There's just sort of echoing everywhere. However, when you look towards the west, you just sort of do that because you know your friends are in that direction. You can see that there is blocking any of the remaining light from the sunlight beaming down. Blocking the entire western corridor is a hulking form with slumped shoulders moving westward slowly.
I will move east.
It's Tresco if you want to talk to him.
That's Trefco. That's Trefco.
Oh, you think it's Trefco? I think it's whatever it is you let out of that corridor. Is it a four-armed baboon, John?
It looks to be about that size. Excuse me. It looks to be about that size.
Strefko.
All right, I'll sneak along behind it, keeping a good distance and moving west also.
Okay. How much distance do you keep between you and it?
Oh, good 30, 40 feet.
Okay. As it moves westward, you can kind of hear a voice emanate from it, sad and morose, and you kind of recognize it as well. And you would probably be the only one that sort of recognizes. Well, Njal would too, actually.
Yeah.
Njal, I would say that since you are in that room, however, you are blind. Just be aware. But the four-armed ape is in between Njal and Mort right now. Understand? So Njal, you would also kind of be able to hear this as well. Let's see. He's mumbling to himself, very sad, and he just says, "No place for Trefko here anymore. Gerrilad mean to me now, like Cisco better. Where does Trefko go? Trefko has no friends and no way out."
It's friends.
All right. This was my backup plan. I didn't expect to get to use this. I'm invisible, so... Trefko, this is your conscience. I know we haven't talked in a while. But you know...
Where is this coming from?
Behind him, whispering, sort of loud enough for him to hear, but not so loud that anyone else can hear.
Okay, continue.
That's a magic volume right there. It's a really narrow path to tread. But I believe in you, Ted.
I can tell you only so much as I can reproduce this whole corridor in my imagination. We can reproduce the volume in our imaginations too. Trefko, there's a way. There's a way, Trefko. A path forward. A path of honor. You know it's true. The king of the goblins would take you into his service. He would love you. He would give you great responsibility. You've always known it.
He whirls around at the sound of your voice. He's like, who speaks?
It's your conscience, Trefko. Your inner voice, your guiding spirit.
My what now? And he bats his head with two of his hands.
You can't get me out that easily, Trefko. Go find the AV club and let them take you to the king of the goblins. He will give you great honor.
But goblins weak, they easy squish.
Many goblins can do much damage with a great four-armed leader such as yourself.
He's conscious. Conscience speaks wisdom. I should listen to conscience more often. Also,
you're a smart ape.
If conscience plan A no work, plan B, lots of goblins to eat.
It's true. You first, conscience.
Very true. See, Trefko, your conscience is very smart indeed.
I like conscience. Okay, conscience, we're friends.
They will find you, Trefko. Be ready.
Oh, just tell them where we are.
I'm not telling them where you are until I know where you are.
Loop, baby.
Okay.
Oh, no, you know we got to come back for him.
Is it
I don't know
conscience?
what this... Come on. I mean, I know we're playing meta here, but Mort doesn't really know. Like, I want this to, I don't want it to seem too weird to Trefko.
I stand here then, wait for your word, conscience.
Good plan, Trefko. We'll find those AV boys. They'll get us out of here.
Okay. He says, both you and Trefko and y'all actually would hear this. And you see Trefko sort of looks around and he goes, conscience, I think I'm in trouble. And you hear snarling coming from the northeastern, like you're right at the intersection where the diagonal things, like from the northern one. You can hear snarling and the scraping of claws, rapid, like 28 days later sort of thing. I'm like, as something comes plowing down the hallway.
Run, Trefko. Run for the door that you broke and barricade it.
He says that might be good. And he starts to lumber towards that door. And he as he moves towards the west, you see It's in the darkness, Mort, but you can see it, obviously. You see...
Yeah.
Actually, let me check here. You see two ravening, decaying figures, all just claws and pallid, sagging skin, on all fours, run out from that corridor into the main eastern-western, and it's only their lights only their eyes are lit up like Gollum-like, sort of in the darkness, and just like slavering mouths, just and they were just strangely enough, however, their forms emit no heat signature. And as they come ravening down into the corridor, and
so I can only kind of see them from the well of the light spilling down that hallway.
Well, you can sense movement and stuff like that in different shades of coldness as well. So you would definitely sense the movement, and you would see the glow of the eyes. Anyways, they come ravening down as Trefko moves towards that door, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it in time.
Yep. Well, that's Trefko's problem, I suspect. I'm going to move north some more.
Okay.
So I got to go look for Darius. If these things are going west, I'm going north.
Okay, so you continue
y'all
towards...
heard all this, though, right?
Yeah. So only Njal heard it, because the rest of you guys are in different parts of that little...
That's why I said, did Njal hear all this?
Njal heard it, but Njal is blind. So, Njal, Mort goes towards the north, towards the Hall of Judgment. Mike?
Yeah.
So, Njal is right by that door, which is open, hanging off of its hinges, and you can hear Trefko approaching, that he appears to be talking to himself, and you can also hear that awful sound from the other two beasties coming his way.
And I hear the conversation where Trefko's like, I'll go find the AV club and help them out.
Yeah, well, in so many words, but yeah.
Right. I will whisper to Trefko and be like, Trefko, the AV club is in here. Run.
He doesn't waste any time, and he comes flying around the corner and into the room, huffing and puffing. And he says, Conscience told me, find you, but bad things come, bad things. Back up. Why you no look at me?
Can't see, Trefko. A magic spell has been put upon me.
Useless. And he, like, one of his lower arms, one of his lower arms bats you backwards, bodily, just like get out of the way. And he stands like in front of the door. And then these two ghouls like come like racing in.
Do we hear the conversation between Trefko and Njal in the pyramid room?
The alarm is going off there.
No.
True.
Oh, the alarm, right? I forgot about that.
Yeah. So as soon as Trefko comes in that door, I hear that alarm, and I know Njal is still back there, possibly blind and helpless. I'm gonna head back up towards that room.
What's this noise?
I'm gonna follow with Elizabeth.
Okay, so you guys, you come running around the corner, and you see that you see Trefko's right there. The alarm is going off. So once again, there's another large shrieking alarm that will probably draw a whole bunch of people towards you.
You said it was.
I said it to go off just in my head.
Oh, just in your head. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So he would not hear that.
Never mind. Okay.
But I come in and I'm like, oh dear. Okay. Y'all step away. Step away. Go back to the sound of my voice. Trefko, is it? We don't need any trouble. Perhaps
no time. Because there's like ghouls that are actually like coming physically into the door.
Oh, then I'm gonna turn undead.
Okay, cool. All right, so you can barely see them through the hulking form of Trefko, but I'll say that you have line of sight to them.
Okay.
So why don't we actually... You're not going to be able to do it right now because we do have to roll for initiative because they may be able to launch themselves on top of Trefko before you can actually bring your holy symbol to bear, okay?
Okay.
All right, so give me one moment. I got to find the Mott stuff. Found you. And then
Are they ghoul baboons, John?
No, they're former humans.
Okay.
And let's see. Okay. Yeah. So you are going to be casting a spell, Turn Undead. Is Elizabeth going to be casting a spell?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. Let's see it. Roll for initiative, please. I got a 2.
Okay, I guess it will be me. Here we go. I can beat that. I'm confident I can beat. Oh, it's a 1
or not.
Okay, Mike. But Mike, can you look me dead in the eyes right now? He got a 2, and we got a 1. What is going on with this?
Okay.
What?
Okay, so Trefco has an AC of 15, so here they go. Let's see.
Amazing.
That's going to be a miss.
Oh, that's good.
Miss.
That's
Miss.
really good.
So the first ghoul misses completely.
Oh,
Second
they have
ghoul.
3 attacks each.
Miss.
Oh.
What does the roller say I rolled for the last one?
2, a 5, and a 12.
A 12. A 12.
Okay, so actually, Trefco, you guys are all sort of amazed. Well, y'all has no freaking idea, but the other 2 of you are quite amazed as they launch themselves bodily, like all 4 claws just like and teeth just out. Remember this room too is lit with continual light, so you can see the whole thing kind of play out. Except for you, y'all, you're worthless, and they they launch themselves on Trefco, and Trefco just like bodily just grabs them out of the air with his arms, as they're kind of and he just slams them back to the ground again.
Sweet.
Can I play Trefco next?
I just want to say, I don't have to be useless.
I'm just giving you shit. Yeah, you could see. You could be very useful actually if a certain PC decided to do
Amazingly
something.
useful.
Okay, but we have another very useful PC who's about to do something.
Okay.
Do something cool, Matt.
All right, I'm going to do this. I take out my holy symbol, which is glowing brightly as bright sunshine, and I say, "I'm sorry, the bar is closed."
Oh,
I roll pretty bad. I rolled a 7.
you rolled a 7,
but
and
I'm-
you are level 7.
I'm a level 7.
Okay, so roll me another 2d6.
Blow up some ghouls.
2d6. There we go. Come on.
Oh,
5, baby.
5. Okay. All right, so
That's got to be good.
you pull out the symbol of Lysion as they're thrown back onto the ground. That's like at the point where they see you, and they're like, as they sort of like fix their eyes upon you through Trefco's legs. Trefco kind of turns around slowly to sort of see you as you kind of hold forth, and then the ghouls are literally just blown back against the wall and are splattered in a million pieces against the wall, just
sweet.
all over the
power of
living,
Lysion right
all
there.
over the yellow tiles, spattered with red, and all over the mosaic, the living mosaic as well.
There may not be as much urgency now, but while we're in an initiative on this turn, I also want to like grab Niall by the scruff of the neck and be like, "This way, this way."
Okay,
Since he can't see, so I just want to guide him.
sure thing. All right, so Trefco is like heaving, like his muscles are all like veined out and everything as he's like ready for battle and everything, and he just sort of turns around and gets real quiet as he looks at you, and he says, "Conscience very wise," and he kind of lumbers over to you, and he kind of hunkers down and looks at you straight in the face, and he. At this point, you're getting like a really good look at Trefco finally for like the very, very first time, and he's not a pretty specimen. Let's put it that way. He has his endearing qualities, but so he's old. You can tell that he has white fur, although most of the baboons do. But you can see most of that is probably because of age. He's heavily scarred across his chest, stoop-shouldered, and you note that he has a strange gem that is on a cheap cord around his neck, and it's made out of corundum, and it's a hexagonal barrel shape, and it's reddish purple. If you look up corundum on Google, you can kind of it's like reddish purple, and he's about 8 feet tall, and it's sort of hanging around his neck.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, John. Little bit of pee comes out.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Of course.
We have a pungent jungle thatch.
He does indeed.
Damn you, Ted.
He does indeed. He's also, his eyes aren't perfectly level. You remember Sloth from the Goonies?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like they're just a little bit like just not quite level.
He's seen some battle.
And he sort of glares at you. And
He reminds me.
Yeah.
You annoy master. All of you, and like all four of his arms point at you guys.
At the same time. Well, I tell you, he's not a good guy. I don't know why you were spending time with him. Come with us, my.
No, and he like pats your head, and he's like, "No, Gerrilad is good. He feeds us, keeps us safe. All he wants, be left alone. But he doesn't like Trefco anymore. Trefco too old. He favors Cisco."
This is not a wise choice. You know what? Therefore, come with us. We have a place for you. We can keep you safe. We can feed you. Do not worry about this. I think the next chapter of your life is going to involve us to a much greater degree, and you will find us to be very good companions. I assure you.
Conscience says much same thing. I think I must go. My master, he is on the wrong path now. He's going to bring ill upon all baboons.
This is true. This
We're
is
going
very
to
true.
bring ill on all baboons too, bro.
Trefco gives me this is quite a reference. Big broken tusk, Yayende, the predator. No one here.
He's in a what?
Sorry.
It's fine. It's a deep cut. It's a very famous predator. Don't worry about it. Audience, shame all of them in the Discord. Moving on.
I have no shame.
What, is Elizabeth doing something? Sorry.
No, I was just David was making a deep cut.
Sorry.
Okay, no, it's all good.
So,
So Avaricios will like lead him to the south and down towards the pyramid.
Okay.
All right.
He says, yes, Cisco. He says, Gerrilad, leave me all alone in chambers, all baboons corralled into the howling caves. And he points towards the southeast. And he decided to take Cisco instead of me. Topside. He says, and he bring prisoner. I remember he say something like, let's hope Rango still in East Tower. He says, if we can make it across city, we'll use this man. He called him Gunner. Gunner was name. We use him as bargaining chip. Gain favor with Setites. And then he says, interlopers. I don't know what that word means. Interlopers will learn not to trifle with Gerrilad.
Yes. I am not surprised by this. But what a mean thing to do to someone with all the experience that you have.
Yes, exactly.
It is a real shame.
Precisely.
Right?
This Gunner,
you know what you're doing.
He kept saying that he was a master of something. A master of a guild of some sort. I don't know what that means. And he kept yanking out of trying to get away from Gerrilad. Cisco bring him back in line, but he kept saying that someone is a usurper running his guild now, and that no one knows.
Interesting.
Did
Now we got
you-
a action point for the Setites too.
Yeah. Do you remember him ever mentioning a name of this usurper?
He said his name is Gunner. I do not know what usurper's name is.
Oh, okay. This is fine. You know so much. There's a lot on your mind. Really. Come on down.
I come. Import ISO. I miss ISO. He was good.
Did you guys get along?
Only person nice to
ISO.
ISO. Only person nice to Trefco was ISO. And he gone too.
So he was a nice fellow, huh?
He was.
Sweet and saintly, no doubt.
He told me. I know. He only told me. He never tell Gerrilad because he didn't get along with Master. He told me that he was sure that there was secret library somewhere. He didn't know where.
Really? Very interesting. Well,
Mean nothing
I'm
to
sure
me.
that
Trefco no read.
maybe they have some audiobooks that you would really enjoy.
So
We'll have to get you something.
so you've got Trefco on your side, if you like.
Wow. Big win. Wow.
Is your plan to just take Trefco and disappear from the pyramid?
I mean, we got to see what's
I
going
think
on
we
with
should
Mort.
wait. Yeah, I think we should just get back into that hallway near the pyramid, so it's easy to get. Like, we still have eyes on that door. If anything breaks through, we can,
Okay. So your plan is basically, unless
to get out,
circumstances dictate, you're going to attempt it all possible to wait until Mort joins you, so you can all go together, right?
Yeah, because we know that. Well, we don't know who it is. We know one of our party members is still alive and invisible right now.
Yeah.
We don't know who.
Gotcha.
Technically, that's true.
I don't know that this trick will work, but in the unfortunate but likely case that Mort doesn't make it back to us, but someone does.
How dare you?
Do we want to hold on?
I'm listening.
Do we want to either via twine or rope tie a bunch around the plunger on this pyramid, and when we teleport, try to yank it with us so that we can't be followed? I don't know if that would work, but you know what I'm saying? In the way that we did at the Blue Pillar Room, covering because we have another way of entering here.
If we
That
had to,
may be worthwhile with the extreme alarm that's going on and our recurrent use of this entry. I'm not confident that will be safe forever. It may be worth pulling the plunger now.
Right.
I'm putting it out there. That's to be determined when we leave, but like I just want to seed that in our minds, because if we want to do that, we have to like tie it now, right? We have to prep for that outcome.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
You can tie some twine around it now. I think Lisbeth has some.
She does. So I'm gonna wrap a bunch of twine around the plunger and Lisbeth's waist, I suppose, right? In anticipation of something like that happening, knowing that we have other entrances we can use.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So
daunting
In
laugh.
the meantime, Mort had so much success, and I would just like to hear.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
I'm
So
gonna call for a
these
break
steps,
right now.
so the shrieker has already stopped, right? Obviously, Matt's Arden alarm is only in his head, so you still hear the ongoing sounds of apes and ghouls battling somewhere off in the distance. Mort, you can hear it. Actually, none of you guys can hear it. Mort, however, can hear it as he's traveling north. Mort, as you go north, you do have to step to the side a couple times as baboons sort of are racing down that corridor from either end, basically, like coming from all directions, basically from the diagonal areas, from the north-south corridor, from both directions, heading back and forth. Okay.
They're just going ape shit or running all over the place, kind of thing.
They appear to be
there.
running in packs with certain goals in mind. Like, they're not just like running chaotically, but they're attempting to basically either shore up some sort of defense with another squad that's under attack, or try to find fellow friends or something like that, right? Back and forth. But you're going to have to make a roll because you're invisible. So, but just be aware that there are basically goblins coming from all directions.
Baboons.
I'm sorry, get goblins. Baboons. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Saved.
The cavalry.
Mort, I need you to roll me a surprise check. So don't roll a 1 or a 2.
And John, I've kind of lost his position. Where is he exactly right
I
now?
expected to be right around here. I don't know if you can see my.
He's right
thing,
here right now.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you're in that northern. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So when it was clear that something was heading towards Trefco, I didn't want to face it alone, or even whatever. So I went north. And,
Yeah, I got it. So roll me surprise.
Yeah, on a D6, John.
Yep.
All right.
Big money, no whammies.
All right.
Okay, you are not surprised
06.
because you're being very careful as you're moving up that northern corridor. We'll say you have just kind of detached yourself from the wall after a bunch of baboons ran, and you see that there is an open door towards the east.
Yeah.
And as you kind of peer through it, around the door, you just see like one claw with like hanging shreds of flesh hanging off of its fingertips, like around the door. And then just in the nick of time, you turn to face it so you can defend yourself as the door is ripped back, revealing a lone ghoul who is like right in your face and comes right at you.
Can see invisible?
Oh, you got it. I keep forgetting you're invisible. Sorry about that.
It's fun to watch Ted's face, though.
But
I can imagine this would still be startling to poor Mort, regardless.
well, you're startled, but you're not surprised. It looks. We'll say this then. It opens the door and attempts to be relatively quiet as it does so, as it's going to step right into your path in order to follow the baboons that just left towards the south.
Dude, lead the ghoul to Darius.
Yeah, I want to follow along and see if that happens. So I'm going to let the ghoul get ahead of me and follow.
Okay.
Maybe the ghoul will take out or fight Cisco, and I will take care of Darius while it's happening.
You mean take care of?
Yeah.
No, man.
Hey, there's a lot of distraction going on right now. Maybe he gets out.
Yeah, if I will play it by ear. I'm not necessarily going to kill Darius.
Okay.
So yeah, let that ghoul. I'll follow right behind it, quietly, and not in any aromatic, delicious sense.
It's going south. Are you okay with that? It's going back.
It's going south.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was going north. No. I'll let him go south, and then I'm going to head north.
You should make a noise to the north and try and draw it north.
I might start once I'm clear of the hallway. I might start whooping up some baboon sounds. Yeah.
Okay, so
I want to see what's going on.
Right, so you move you keep moving north as the ghoul kind of passes by. You can hear down south. You hear Gerrilad shout, and turning around, you can see that the Gerrilad's form is silhouetted against the well of light. He appears to be back in the well of light now, and the north-south hallway suddenly blooms with orange flame. As you hear the baboons shrieking as they disperse towards the corridors going towards the southwest and the southeast, just in the nick of time, as the ghoul is completely immolated in some sort of fire spell that was cast by Gerrilad.
Mm-hmm.
And as that smoke sort of dissipates, it's kind of cool because like there's immense heat, the smoke is dissipating, and he's sort of silhouetted against the light. So you just see like this cool like Kaiser Soze sort of form sort of move, up towards the north and out of the smoke, just in slow-mo, Gerrilad doing his thing, stalking towards the north, apparently extremely pissed off and looking to torture someone with extreme prejudice.
That's me.
Like we said, good guy, really good guy.
So I am beset on all sides by fools and undead. And he's going to march. He's basically following right in your wake, Mort. So what do you do as you enter into the Hall of Judgment?
Enter in and immediately hang a hard left and get into the corner where I'm not likely to be stepped on by an ape or a druid.
Okay.
And then move along the western wall towards the north.
Okay, cool. So you first of all see you see Darius's poor form. You've known Darius for some time now, so it's pretty brutal to actually see what has happened to him. The pits have been revealed on either side. There, don't forget that there are the rows of columns that also decorate this room as well. And there are the two daises, one on which is the punishment pole, and directly behind that is the dais where the single piece ruby throne is as well. And Cisco is standing right in front of that throne, keeping an eye towards the south, keeping an eye both on Darius's form and looking for Gerrilad's return. There are guttering torches that are attached to all of the pillars, so the place is pretty well lit. And that is basically it as far as the room goes. And as you're kind of moving towards the north, you see Gerrilad emerge into the light from the south.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks really pissed off. He puts his birch wood club back into his belt.
Oh.
And he waves Cisco away. And he ascends up onto the ruby throne. Okay, and he sits down grimly, and he looks really, really mad. But then when he kind of takes a long look at Darius, a smile starts to spread across his face, and you see it mimicked on Cisco's big ass mug as well.
Oh boy!
And at that point, you are basically on the northern wall. Do you wish to watch or intervene, or do you wish to just leave?
I'm not clear on this map, John, exactly where Darius is located.
Darius is right here.
All right, let me just mark that. So he's on the punishment post here.
Yep, the dais, which he's on, a dais, whatever.
Is it like 10 by 10 or?
It doesn't matter. Your little thing's fine.
All right, we'll put a little thing like this. Okay. So there's really no way for me to get at Darius without being in full view of both Cisco and Gerrilad.
Well, you're invisible, but if you do become visible, yes, you will be.
Yeah.
Well, you could be behind the pillar. It's like directly on the other side.
Behind the pillar in any way?
So the pillars are basically on the southern end of the room. So there are 2 rows of 3 that are directly
I meant the punishment post, John. Like,
oh, I'm sorry. What about it?
Like, could I? There's no way I could hide behind the post from those 2 people, right?
No. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Go around and give me a reach around.
Yeah, something like that. Only with a knife.
Okay. This is actually the time for the second break, so we'll give Ted a little bit of time to figure out what exactly he wants to do with Darius, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. Mort, you are looking at Darius, who is about to be tortured. What do you do?
Okay. So, Ruby Throne, Gerrilad, near or next to him is Cisco.
Mm-hmm.
The post with 1 assassin tied to it. Are there any other baboons in the room?
No.
All right. I'm going to, if you look at, I'm going to move the little token here. I'm going to move around to here and whisper to Darius. I think I'm going to try Matt's idea.
Darius is unconscious.
What's that?
Darius is unconscious.
Oh,
because he mouthed
right.
off.
He. I believe that. Absolutely believe that.
That's it. That's so him.
Have you fucking met me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know, that's right.
And they say we don't. And they say we don't play ourselves. You know what I mean?
All right.
It's a role play.
Where's the fantasy again?
So what do you do?
So my plan is I'm going to stab him in the neck, immediately turn invisible again, and run like crazy. Yeah.
I love you.
Good.
You will lose initiative against the monkey. You're going to lose initiative against the monkey. He's going to
surprise round. It's a surprise.
Right. On a surprise round, he kills me. Then you roll initiative. The monkey will win. He's going to run up to Mort and he's going to pound him into oblivion.
Fair. Hear me out. I'm not trying to be difficult. Can you attack and move on a surprise round? No, you can only.
I guess I assumed I would be able to do a little more.
It's like a single action, basically. I mean, more or less. Yeah.
Ted, is there anything before you do this? Anything that's not an attack, you're still invisible, right? Still sneaking around. Mm-hmm. Can you make a noise in a corner? Can you?
I could.
Right? Throw something. Throw something.
You have a pebble that might come back to you magically.
Right? Do you have an oil
throw something
flask?
At a door? Yeah.
Do what, Mike?
You have an oil flask?
I do.
Okay. You can put a little bit of oil. You can put half the oil underneath me. Make a trail, like, I don't even know, like south, like, and get a little bit farther away so that you have just a little bit more time, and then just light that thing on fire, and then it'll be a trail of fire that goes up to me. Just does enough damage to put me out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Is that pit to the east still on fire, John?
Still on fire? No.
Yeah. Remember, Yost had to leap into that pit. It was full of flames. You got all that stuff out for us?
Yeah.
It is still on fire.
It is not on fire. No.
Oh, it's not?
Nope.
It's not the Springfield tire fire, bro.
Well, I thought it was just always full of magic fire or something. I wonder why it was on fire when we were there.
Because we set it on fire.
No, we found it. We
It
pulled
was
the
like magma or something at the bottom.
carpet off of that pit, and it was full of fire in there because Guelph or whatever fell in and was burning to death. And then Yost jumped down there like a boss and got our plunger for us.
Regardless, it is not burnt. It is not burning.
burnt.
So
Okay.
what do you do?
Actually, the oil's a pretty good idea. So
Nobody kills me like I kill me.
that's right. Is the post wooden, John? Is the post wooden?
The post is no, black iron.
Oh,
10 feet
black
tall.
iron. Son of a bitch.
Pour oil down my back.
Yeah.
Make a puddle.
Yep. This is
Pouring
what we're
oil,
gonna
is
do.
not, pouring oil on me is not an attack.
Yeah, but the oil is going to be visible.
On his back. They're looking at the front. I think I can get away with it. If it looks like I'm not getting away with it, I will bail. But yeah, I'm going to pour oil on Mike and spark it with my tinder and run away.
Okay, where are you going to run away to?
You got to make a trail away from the post with the oil so that you can get a little more distance.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Where are you
But I
running
need
to?
most of it on you to actually hurt you. What, John?
Where are you planning to run away to?
South. And then down the south western corridor.
Okay.
And prepared to dodge into that little room 12 if I feel he's really close behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I will, get invisible and get into that room 12.
Okay. Okay, so you approach Darius's form very, very quietly. As you are approaching and you are uncorking your oil and trying to douse it down Darius's unconscious form, Gerrilad is basically speaking on the throne, and he says he starts to talk. He's like, "Well, get the answers out of you. We'll find out exactly what it is you have." Oh wait, you're unconscious. What happened, Cisco? he says one moment, and he yeah, David.
I'm sorry to do this. The throne is facing his back. So if you pour a bunch of shit on his back, Gerrilad is literally looking at you doing it. FYI.
No, he's
assume that-
facing him.
I assume that Darius was facing the throne. Is that wrong?
Oh, I see. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
So he comes off the throne, and Gerrilad comes like right up to you, Mort, like right up to Darius, and he lays a hand on Darius, and he just kind of closes his eyes for a brief second, and Darius like jerks up out of consciousness. Okay, Darius, you are now awake. Okay, you are fully aware. The first thing that hammers into your head is extreme pain, like a massive amount of pain. Then your eyes clearly focus on your enemy, Gerrilad, who's directly in front of you, looking very irritated. As he kind of removes his hand and starts to back away a little bit. And then the third thing that you're aware of is wetness and a stench on your back.
I don't think fire's going to be enough. He just healed him, dude. You got to stop.
I know.
Well, how much did we heal?
That's a good question. Give me a second. I will
Risk. It's a risk.
Roll bad.
Don't tell us, John. Don't tell us, John.
You heal 3, so you're now at 4.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
Well, no, because I would have been at 0 because he knocked me unconscious. So I'm at 3. But right.
I'll give you 4.
All right.
Oil's
John,
a D4.
As he's healing me, can I have the wherewithal to try and kick him in the balls? Can I try and attack him?
You can't. You just can't.
Can I spit?
Huh?
Can I spit on him?
You can attempt to.
Okay.
He backs away and he smiles at you and he says, all in good time, friend, and a friend you soon shall be. And he sits back down on the ruby throne. And he begins to basically casually move his hands in subtle gestures at Darius. Yeah, Mort?
New plan. The fire's not going to work, and the charm spell we can't afford for this fit to be happening. So I'm going to throw the pebble behind Cisco's head and immediately stab Darius in the neck and run away.
I want to say though, real quick, Ted, I have a 4 wisdom, which gives me a -2 to my saves for spells. I've got this beat.
I love it. I love it.
So you toss the pebble, Mort. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll for initiative. And what we're going to do is we're going to say if we're gonna not really a combat sort of thing, but we're gonna say is if I win, then Gerrilad gets his spell off before you can plunge a dagger into Darius, and if you win, the opposite.
Okay.
Okay.
D6.
D6, just a roll off. Let's do it.
Come on, Ted.
4.
I rolled a 4.
4 for
Okay,
Ted, and
okay.
I got a 5.
What a
John,
surprise.
did you quit it?
What?
Okay.
Guys, I'm fully convinced
All right.
that John hired a freelance engineer to make whatever dice roller we're using.
Okay, Mike. I need Darius to make me a saving throw versus spells, please.
So here's the cool thing. My save versus spells is a 14, but with my wisdom bonus,
Mhm.
it's actually a 16.
A penalty? Yep. Are you
yeah,
joking?
yeah.
It's a wisdom penalty.
Okay.
So it's harder to do.
Oh my God.
Oh, you made it. Got the 18. Nicely done.
He cast
Okay.
a spell on me, and I'm like, oh, Gerrilad the Gray. Go fuck yourself.
And you see him. He looks sourly at you as his spell fizzles upon your. It's yours, and he's like, it appears we have a challenge here. Cisco, bring out the instruments.
Okay.
And at that point,
This works to your advantage.
Does Cisco turn his back or?
yeah, like there. At this point, you can do what you want to do, Mort. So.
Well, at this point, watching what's going on, if there's a moment where they're looking over at the instruments or, distracted in some way, that's when I'll plunge the knife into his neck and then immediately turn invisible and run away.
Okay,
As
so
he's choosing between the woodwinds and the strings.
Sure, for sure.
I was just
Also, I
wondering,
want to
though,
throw it out there that Darius rolled not a single good roll until his last roll. So, congratulations to Mike.
Mort,
Yeah,
you plunge the dagger into Darius's back. Darius, his neck rears back. You immediately pop into existence for a split second, and he expires. Gerrilad sees the entire thing.
Okay.
So he sees you basically appear for a second, and he launches out of his chair, grabbing his beechwood club sort of thing, and he points forward with his other hand. He's like, "Intruder!" And then you wink back out of existence, and Darius collapses on the ground, and he goes, "No, no!" And you see Cisco whirl around, and he lunges towards Darius's form, and you just see him. Basically grabs Darius bodily, and with both of his left arms, he rips Darius off the post, right, and just slams him against the post.
That'll teach him.
And then he takes Darius's limp form that has been ripped off with the shackles, and he basically hurls it in a direction that he hopes that your invisible form is running around somewhere, but it just, it's not going to hit you at all.
Right,
just
okay.
out of pure frustration, but it's just more like it's an illustration of how psychotic Cisco is. Like, this guy is
Yeah.
bad news.
I'm
And the
running
entire time, as you're beating ass and looking over your shoulder, Mort, as you're running south, you're just looking back at Cisco like, Jesus Christ, that's the guy who killed my employer. You know what I mean? As you beat ass out the south. Darius, we hardly knew ye.
Sorry,
You are-
Darius.
You have expired at the
Sorry.
hands of your ally. Okay.
I gave you a clean death, much cleaner than you'd have gotten here.
But you have saved Darius from particularly nasty torture, and eventually, since he was not able to be befriended, he would get out all the information he wanted in extremely horrible ways.
Yeah.
So you have prevented that. So it's good. And
All right.
you beat us south. There does not appear to be any baboons immediately in any direction. However, you can still kind of hear them around you.
Right. Well, I'm definitely listening for that, but I am trying to get back to the plunger pyramid now.
Are you running as fast as you can at this point?
Yeah. At least until I get to room 12 area there, then I want to slow down a little bit and listen, and make sure I'm not about to walk into a ghoul or something.
Okay.
I know to look for their eyes. So I'm doing that and listening, and then I'm heading towards where I believe my friends to be.
Okay, so you slow down at that little side corridor there, but nothing appears to show itself.
Okay.
You make your way into the east-western corridor there, And let's see, now it's at this point a few turns have passed, so it's now I'm going to say it's around 6 p.m. And the way looks relatively clear. The sounds of battle seem to be dwindling in the north relatively. You can definitely still hear, like, it's not like deathly quiet, but you don't hear the ghouls as much, and you hear more of the baboons sort of communicating with each other out of like consternation and fear, basically, is kind of the vibe you're getting from their hooting, which you've gotten quite used to by now.
Okay. If I think I can get to the door to room 2 without being tripping over any ghouls, then I'll do the secret knock and I'll enter, and then I will undo the invisibility once I'm in with the door closed. Okay. And so that Nyal can see, and I will move towards the back there by the pyramid.
Very good. Nyal, the first thing that you see when you come, when your sight returns to you, is Mort. There he is as he pops back in.
Boss, how you doing, boss? That's great.
Mort's going to come sauntering in like he's John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, walking down the street in Brooklyn there, and hey guys, what's happening? I kind of accidentally killed Darius. Sorry about that.
You can tell by the way he does. He's a good
Y'all just looks at you and shakes his head and goes, "Where's Leryl's cloak?"
Yeah, it's a bit of a trouble. We lost that.
Avaricio shakes his head. Y'all, what happened to your accent, man?
Yeah,
You're
man.
talking really weird.
Hey, Mort. Where's Leryl's cloak, brother? God damn, that cloak is awesome, man. And you lost it.
Yeah, we need a new plan for going back to get that. But
Trefko like bats the rest of you aside with his forearms, like not too gently, and he stumps right up to Mort. And he says, "You sound like Conscience."
Trefko, baby. I am the voice of the king, and I have a job for you.
He snuffs at you and he just inhales deeply, like getting your scent.
I smell like a monkey, I'm afraid.
Conscience, you stay at my side.
Oh yeah.
Deal. I'll
you need to ride on his shoulder.
That's a threat, not a request.
Yeah.
By the way,
He looks around at the rest of you. He's like, tell me, Conscience always goblins.
oh yes, of course.
Yeah, you need to carry him around on your shoulder so he can whisper what you should do.
Like Jiminy Cricket, yes. Conscience.
When you wish upon a star.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys have all reconvened. You've got a big giant white ape on your side, and you are leaving Darius and Misophase to rot in hell forever. Well done. And
where are the other guys? Come on.
We can still try and get the cloak. Gerrilad has burned off a few spells at this point, and he's mad with anger. There's a bunch of dead baboons around and ghouls and things. If you guys want to try for the cloak, we can do it, but I don't think it's going to work.
If we're trying for anything, I'm taking this four-armed baboon and killing Gerrilad with his help.
I don't think he'll do it. He still likes Gerrilad. He just wants to be treated with respect.
Gerrilad is in a fury. Mort can confirm that. I mean, he was already pissed off because of the chaos that you guys have done, and now the further act of chaos, you've popped out of nowhere, killed the one prisoner that he did manage to get, so he's being left with nothing except dead baboons. So he's like super pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I think we take what we have. I think we regroup. Think about it a little bit. Rest. Let things simmer down just a little bit, and then we can start him back.
So you plunge back to the debouche.
I think we should.
Okay, so I'm going to knock off one more turn just to get you guys all up there. Trefko probably needs a little bit of manhandling to get up there and convince him to do. So.
Yeah, did the twine trick work? Do we take the plunger with us?
Yeah, that's fine. You can take the plunger with you. Okay, sweet. And you pop back into existence. Now remember, up on the debouche level, the goblins tend to stay away. Like they don't like the green mist vibe of the whole thing. They're just not into it, so they tend to stay away. Right. And you also know that your main stash is also hidden away in that pyramid as well. So do be aware.
Wow.
I should point out, like, a lot of this stuff happens off screen if it happens at all. But that living mosaic does do a thing, right? It does show who's on top of that pyramid. So if a certain person happens to be wandering around in that area looking for people who have been annoying him for a long time, and you happen to be on that pyramid in the debouche level, he will see you.
But not with. Does it say anything within the pyramid? Does it show movement within, or just
No. It just shows the picture of like who's on top of the pyramid. Yeah, not a huge deal because you guys immediately descend. I'm just saying, just keep it in mind that is a there's basically like a little surveillance camera that's always watching the top of that pyramid.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we have one at the secret door, but he has one here.
Correct.
If he needs it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Can he
Fair
do anything
enough.
about it?
Fair enough.
Does he even know what it's depicting? Who knows? But the mosaic is active.
That's crazy.
Okay,
All right.
well done. You guys have you got what you wanted to get accomplished. We'll put it that way.
Sort of.
Sort of. Yeah.
I mean,
Lots
it's
of
kind of a
logical-
win.
Yeah. Well, you lost
Kinda?
2 people, and you lost some crazy good magic items, and you were not able to kill Gerrilad. So maybe I take it all back. Like, you didn't really do that great of a job. But
Hey, you know what, John? You know what? We made a friend. And
you did.
that-
Yes, you did.
You know what? And that's worth it all.
True.
It's like a Disney movie right there, man. We made a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a very big hulking friend, the general appearance of which tends to cause people to run away screaming no matter who they are. So have fun with that. What do you do when you attempt to move out of the pyramid room?
I have a suggestion, guys, which is I had news of Marco the Beastman. I thought maybe I might go to that corridor to the barrier and see if there was a Beastman there and pass on a message just as a sort of a first step of trying to establish communications with the Beastmen. To say, I bring news of your brother Marco. He fell honorably in battle, sort of thing. But I'm not married to it if you guys don't want to do that yet.
No, I think
I think we should. I don't know that it's. I mean, no, you're not hurt, right? Is anybody hurt? I don't think anybody.
I think Darius and Isophase took some damage.
I was going to say. I will say. I think that's a good idea. I think the first task that Mort has to do is convince every goblin up here that the giant ape is not going to kill them, and I think only you can.
But you also got to convince the ape not to kill them.
That too. Well, I think he's.
Uh-huh.
I think we got Trefco to come along, but yeah.
So
Yeah.
I need to have a word with Trefco about, maybe ask him to sit down, crisscross applesauce here, and I'll sit in front of him, maybe in his lap, and cuddle up, and say, Trefco, do you wish to come with us to enter the service of the Goblin King, who will reward your strength and bravery?
He definitely likes the sound of strength and bravery. You can see him respond to that.
Yeah.
So in so many words, so we don't have to like role play out his sort of stuttering speech. What he's looking for in order to maintain his loyalty is he needs food, right? He needs to be fed, and he respects, the only thing he respects is strong leadership through strength of arms, right? He's not into he's not into subtlety and really cool plans and all that sort of stuff. Right. He wants someone that can beat ass when needs be, right? And he is also extremely protective because that's always been sort of his role with Gerrilad. So if you give him something to protect, a person or a place or something like that to guard, he is all for that as well.
I know a great first level caster.
He's also though he's extremely sensitive to, and this is sort of what makes him sort of endearing, I guess, a little bit, is that he's extremely sensitive to not having his abilities recognized. Like, he doesn't like to be ignored or forgotten. I mean, he needs
validation.
He needs validation. He's exactly right. And he's always been like that, but it's been even more pronounced as he's grown older. And the other more virile baboons have sort of taken over the duties that he used to be able to perform on his own. So he's got a bit of an inferiority complex, basically, right? So he needs constant validation, is what he's.
One might say 5 friends that start a D&D stream share a lot with Trefco.
Yeah.
Not that great.
What? Huh?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that went a little too deep. That was like, wow.
Oh,
All right.
True
I've been
thirds, true
stabbed in the
thirds.
back twice tonight.
Whoops.
Wow.
And Onweir strikes again, boys.
From the grave. So that's what he's sort of looking for.
Yeah, and you know, Trefco, I understand your words. I think you would do well in the service of the king. I don't want you to think that the AV Club is casting you aside or anything like that. If you prefer to join us, we would love to have you. But I think in the service of the king, you would shine, and he would feed you, and you could do feats of strength by lifting many goblins at a time, and
So he
I don't know, man. I think you
Elizabeth
should
might
stick
pipe in.
around.
he makes a
go ahead.
negating gesture, and he sniffs. He's like, I smell goblins. I smelled them.
yeah,
So
that's our next
goblins-
conversation.
He says, you conscience. Goblins, food. 'Cause I don't serve
I think
food.
you should.
I serve you.
Maybe you should-
You
maybe you
you are
stick with
strong.
us then.
And he's pointing to like
Mhm,
he's gesturing to all of you, not just you, Mort. But
Okay.
he's like, I serve you. You want me guard goblins, not eat goblins? Okay, but I hear from you. I don't obey king. Mm-mm.
Okay. I like it.
If we, for instance,
Yeah.
this is like a longer conversation, but short form, I don't think he would, for instance, be the king's bodyguard for the king.
Right.
But a great bargaining chip for us would be Trefco. We need you to protect the king until our plans, whatever they may be.
Well, I wondered about that too.
direction.
Yeah.
And therefore, for us, will you wink, wink, protect the king? That gives him like a play. But also, I'd
This
love him to
is-
just come around with us. But I'm
Yeah,
throwing it out there
this
just
is that
so it's in the
subtlety thing
atmosphere.
that he didn't want to do.
Yeah,
I
I know.
say we take him to the Goblin Market and feed him a whole bunch of hamburgers and barbecue, and then decide what we're going to use him for, and where we're going to go next.
First order of
Yeah.
business, kill all the Setites we saw there with him.
Yeah.
I said we go, oh, look at those guys.
Well,
Okay.
remember, I mean, we don't want to do it there. Yeah,
of course,
that's
of course. No, I know.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how do you want to
Matt's
sort of?
worried about you, David. He's worried.
So there's goblins like that are all over this level, right?
Yeah.
Not all over, but this part of this level, right? So the moment you sort of step outside the pyramid room, you're basically going to be in front of goblins. So
Yeah,
what is your approach as far as like introducing Trefco to the goblins?
Yeah,
I
we
got an
need to
idea.
split up. We need an advance guard, right?
Well, here's the first thing we need is out of that sack of yours, Avaricious. I'm pretty sure you can pull out like a surcoat or something that's got a big AV on it that we're going to give to Trefco, not only to hide his pungent thatch, but to make it clear that
Can we,
he's
leave? Can we just abandon that, please? No, it's fine.
Are you asking me to pull out a service animal vest to put on this giant
That's very
mutant
demeaning.
four-armed
That's
baboon?
a surcoat, our livery.
Well,
This is an honor. He shall wear our livery.
There's no surcoat that'll fit him. You'll have to get one specially made, and it's not mundane enough to be pulled from the
Can we just pull out like a big red sash or something?
What a bow tie.
No, you-
You got a bow tie and a little
a bow
fez?
tie,
God,
the Chippendale
no,
Trefco.
Oh yeah, like a Burger King.
Look,
Yeah.
I like this ape more than any one of you. I am not going to demean him with a costume. That is my hard line.
Thatch out, baby. Thatch out, man.
Right on.
Okay.
All right. Well, because I was
But
thinking we
I
could
more
mark
mean
him
like
in some way.
like he's not Trefco is not going to be aggressive unless the goblins start to annoy him. But it's more about the goblins are going to be the problem because the goblins are going to look on that
Yeah.
and just be like, "What the fuck? Kill it!" You know what I mean? So
Well,
how are
here's
you
what
going to
I'm saying.
manipulate the
Let them know
goblins?
ahead of time for sure.
Yeah, we know the goblins aren't going to come in here, and we know Trefco wants some food. To start, why don't we give him some food and say, "Will you hang out for a few while we go talk to goblins?"
Hungry.
That buys us some time. Yeah,
He
exactly.
can't stay here. He'll be on the screen downstairs.
Only on
Oh,
the
yeah,
pyramid
yeah.
or the whole room.
It shows the
No,
top and the rest of the room is sort of clouded with mist. So if you brought him down to the base, it'd probably be hidden.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's give him a bunch of food. Let's reward him for his loyalty. I'll give him all my rations. I'll give him whatever he wants. You know,
I'm just trying to create a picture in my head. We don't have to like belabor
no,
it.
of course. I think it's fun.
So then, are you going to prep the goblins for this? How are you? I assume Mort, you're going to do this.
Yeah, I think a sort of a, you know, well, I was imagining him being with us and kind of, you know, hear ye, you know, I, Mort, speak. This is my ally, Trefco the brave, Trefco the strong. He is an ally to the AV club and therefore an ally to goblins, and fear him not. Also mess with him not, kind of speech.
Okay. So if you're
let's go. Yeah, let's if we can, let's somebody just go, hey, there's, you know, we have a surprise for you. Everybody keep cool. There's no danger. Mort has a big announcement.
Can we communicate with all the goblins like that? That's what I was thinking of.
No, but word will spread because they're fecund.
Right.
So
okay. Fine.
I'm gonna say one more thing. Not that we have to employ it right on the front end, but though we exchanged all of the stash gold for XP, not all of it was brought to the Goblin King. Right. And there's still a lot here in the pyramid. So if you need to lubricate a couple lieutenants,
I doubt it.
Got gold. That's what I'm saying. Like if we're really worried, just don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take we're going to kind of gloss over this sort of thing, but you take some time to leave Trefco there. You go back into the debouche, and you haul. Everyone's happy to see you, as always. They are very, assuming that you tell them what happened. Generally, that Darius and Misophase didn't make it back. They are devastated to hear that. They don't like that at all. But they're goblins, so they don't really care that much. And what they're mostly that they're happy about, they're happy that the two people that they really give a shit about actually did survive, and that's Mort and Avaricious.
Very fair. Very fair.
So
I will spread the word that there's this fella Gerrilad that did in poor Misophase and poor Darius, and someday we goblins will take our reckoning on this evil bastard.
If you say so.
I'm not going to mention the apes, though.
Gangrene, by the way, immediately clings himself to your shoulder. He's
I
so
missed you.
Is it Gerrilad's name? Oh, he's a dead man. He is.
That's right.
Point me in the direction, mate.
That's right.
More wet work. More wet work.
Ultimately, what I want is Gangrene and Trefco to be like a combined unit everywhere we
Master
go.
Blaster.
I don't know how, but I do. Yeah. They are the most. Again, I like them more than any of you.
It'll be like that goblin and the huge robot in Labyrinth, at the city gates.
Yes. I mean, if you're gonna do like a Warhammer orc, it might as well be Gangrene on the tank equivalent, right?
Trefco the Dreadnought.
So you bring back, after sort of commiserating about Darius and Misophase's death, you get all the food, you bring it back. They're kind of wondering what the hell you're bringing all that food for, but they don't question it. And then you slowly bring Trefco in, announcing sort of like what's going on. Because you are vouching, you specifically, Mort, are vouching for their safety. They are okay with it, but they look upon him with complete trepidation. And Trefco can't help but lick his lips when he kind of walks into the debouche. And so that even further is sort of like, and you can see like his hands just sort of like, all four of them sort of flexing and scrunching as he's just, picturing himself wringing the necks of
guys.
Yeah.
Goblins are friends, not food.
Little do we all know that Goblin's blood has a amphetamine-like quality to it.
Oh dear, that would
so
be...
we're gonna leave it like this. As you right after you sort of introduce Trefco, and you guys are in the middle of that main hall there. Okay, and I will say at this point too that this is when, on a meta level, Mike and David would divest from the retainers, and then you would assume the form of your primary PCs. Who I assume would be Lothar for Mike, yeah? And then, David, you're doing Upior?
Correct.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Muscle Mage.
Muscle Mage, yeah, cool. I
hand Upior the spell book that I took off of Misophase and the scrolls.
There you go. So
what weak man left his spell book upon a dungeon?
As you guys are sort of letting people know about Trefco's sizing up whether how hungry he really is. You see a bunch of goblins come down the debouchement itself, and they look not well. They look like they're a bit harried. Look like they've seen some nasty shit. They're sweating as they've running down, and a couple of them are actually carrying a small limp form in between them.
Lida?
I was going to ask if
that they deposit in front of the statue of Thoth. And Bottleneck comes up and asks what happened. And in Trefko's looming shadow, you see that it is the poor form of Lyda, who appears to have been killed by some sort of blunt force trauma. And they explain, as you see that a bunch of the other goblins themselves are also wounded and leaning on each other, that they say that the dragon came and it destroyed in one fell swoop the barricades that they had built on top of the pyramid.
Oh my god!
And the existing Arcantian structure that was also there. Remember, there used to be like 4 freestanding pillars with a rooftop, right, with the little baboons on the corners, right. So all of that was ripped off. And the dragon spoke in the air and declared to everyone who could hear that entrance should remain clear to all at all times, or else they would pay the price. What should we do, Bottleneck? What should we do, Mortus? They ask.
Remain clear as in like anyone can go in and out?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's fine. Just set up shop down here and just charge them here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
We can pull a little broken head action in here. You know what I mean? We're not the only ones that can grift. All right.
We could either charge people, or we could. Honestly, we could literally collapse the stairwell in. Not that we should.
We should not do
But-
that. But
Yeah.
I think, that's
Throwing
the
it out there to
obvious.
protect our flank. And what I'm worried about, the reason I say it, what I'm worried about is this is our safe haven, dude. Adventures coming into the safe haven like threaten. It's no longer a safe haven if we have like regular traffic coming through, unless we can legitimately defend it, and we can't if we're not here because we're not here, right? So caving it in is keeping the safe haven in my mind. It's keeping the flank. It doesn't mean we should, but like that's the reason I say that. Right?
I mean, the other thing,
it could just be barricades.
Yeah, we set up a new set of gates. We set up a new obstacle up the stairs out of the breath range of the dragon, but within the stairwell to stop people coming down.
Yeah,
I agree with the caveat. Sorry to be the pessimist here. How did we take the debouchement? Whose help did we enlist in taking the debouchement? And how many men were involved in that process? We are not going to defend against a mercenary company storming down these stairs. We're just not, especially in our absence.
The problem that the halflings had was that A, we attacked from 2 fronts.
Sure.
But B, they were off to the side. They allowed the mercenaries to gain the foothold of the actual debouchement room. If the barricade prevents anyone from even coming off the stairs, it's a bottleneck situation that makes it considerably easier to defend.
What I would say then, we'll get a cut in a second. What I would say, and I like your thinking. If we want to allow passage, I think what we should do, this sounds crazy, but hear me out. Airlock, intervals of gates throughout the stairwell. We build door lock. I mean, that's going to take money, which we have, and time. But if you want anyone to come in, it has to be like multiple redundancies in my mind. And And then the last redundancy has to be like pull the lever and collapse the stairwell redundancy. But that's for another day, another conversation. But that's my nervousness. This is our only. We can't go up. So if we lose this safe haven, guys.
Yeah,
and
so
we can go to the set. We can go to the setites. That's dangerous.
To be clear, too, it would be if you happen to lose this part, it doesn't erase all of the safe haven. Like the Goblin Halls themselves would still be safe, and technically, depending on the circumstances, the wet caves might be part of it as well. But this is, at this moment is now at risk, and you guys can decipher yourself what plan you want to do. I should make clear too that Crostonisterex himself has no reason to believe that you are down there, like that you're right there. Right? He just knows that there's goblins there that have been building.
He wants business. He wants business flowing again.
Yes, he does.
Yes, we knew that.
And so he'll do whatever it takes. So that's the end. So the problem we'll end it here, but the problem that has sort of happened as a result of what you guys have done up top is that Kraz, the Broken Head, was housing people who were bringing up treasure, and then a part of that was being given to Kraz as a tithe, right? And now, because the goblins have taken over the top of the pyramid, which is the main entrance, the adventurers are now drying up. Like, adventurers are not coming up as much anymore. And so when Kraz hears about this, he's like, well, then I'm going to make sure that adventurers want to come back up here again. And so he's like, I'm going to open up that hole. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be nice now. That's good. See, we did a good thing.
Yeah, there you go.
But I have one more question before we go.
As do I after you go. Yeah.
We're going to be here forever. My question is, did the kitchen goblins make it?
Oh, right, the kitchen goblins.
Did they make it up the chimney?
You don't know. You have not seen. They do not appear to be here in the debauch. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last comment. I'm a magnanimous guy. You know that. Yeah, no. If I've built a reputation for anything,
It's murderer.
I alley-ooped you for that. Okay, so well, appropriate you'd say that. The broken head does have an entrance. So, if he's intent enough and this one's blocked, then the broken head is a problem. So, something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ted?
I would like to suggest that we lay the form of Lyta to rest in the sarcophagus where we found Clavum. Which is in that. What's that?
Yeah, in the hidden chamber, yeah.
That hidden chamber, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can certainly do that. Yeah.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Why don't we? You know what? Why don't we keep her safe? And some things can possibly be done with a little call in a favor here or there.
Sure. Let's see what happens. You are blessed
put the body somewhere, or Trefco's going to eat it or something. So I was thinking,
I like the resurrection idea, but yeah.
You can decide all that stuff for next time. Not a big deal, but it's a great ending point. So we'll leave it right here. So thanks for watching, everybody, watching and or listening. I hope you enjoyed it. You've been watching 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and please share with all of your friends and family. It helps us a great deal. And if you are so inclined, join the Patreon. You got a lot of really cool benefits, and pick up a copy of Feats of Exploration. You may have already seen on socials that we're closing in on a platinum bestseller for that publication. We're less than about 75 copies away. So if you haven't seen it, it is worth your money. I can guarantee it. Ask your friends, ask people on the Discord about it. People have been really enjoying it in their own games. So please pick up a copy. GG indeed. So with that in mind, thank you again to all of our wonderful Patreons for supporting us, including our explorers, delvers, and most importantly, our conquerors. Who are our conquerors this week, Ted?
Well, I would love to tell you, John. The conquerors are as follows. A big thank you to the Logan family, Kobrowskis, Declan Koneski, Chad Cartier, Magic Meat Machine, Dale Brady, Tom Leary, Phil, G Tokyo Time, Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, James Doig, Robert Valdez, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano DiMaiolo, the Hex Brawler Twins, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Jib Cutter, Scott Yearsley, Mechjack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, and the Matts. Not Matt, but not least, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much for your support, guys. We really, really do appreciate it. And have a great week, everyone. We will see you next time. Bye now.
Thanks, John.
Right.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for killing me.